Hey everybody, this is Cliff with Curry Custom Cutlery. After 1 year away, I wanted to come back and give you guys a follow-up video. Thank you everybody for the comments, the questions, and I apologize deeply for not being able to get a video out sooner. Honestly, I didn't know how to do it. I've relocated my shop from the basically a large walk-in closet that I had as a dedicated area, and now I'm out here. The area is much larger. I've got a lot of new equipment, but the lighting and the noise tend to be an issue out here. So this is the first video. I'm going to see if I can't get back into showing some new sharpening stuff, and I thought I'd start with just a quick walk around with a shaky hand cam of my current setup. This is my wall with all the different belts on it. I've got them all sorted out. I'll go into belts again. Follow-up belt video from the last time we did one. A lot of new information, a lot of stuff that I like, and I've got belts now that go all the way up to 3,000 grit. Here comes the noise. I'll cut that out. Okay, sure enough, just as I started to record, a motorcycle came up, neighbor's dog started barking. This is why it's just not as ideal out here as it was at the old shop, but I'll try my best. What I was saying is I got all the different belts, 60 grits, and I'll go through all the way up to 3,000 now. And then one of my favorites, I've got the Scotch-Brite belts and some felt belts, which are down here. I use them. Down here I got a Dremel tool, a little shop vac. This is a grinder, a 1x42. It's heavier duty, but it's got some issues, so I'm not using it as much. Here's the modified 1x30, and I built these little wooden stands for it. And I'm using this one just for buffing now, so I can keep the cross-contamination, metal filings and stuff like that out of the way. This is the one I'm still using on a daily basis as a workhorse. Still working great, and now I have the added benefit, try and do it one-handed, is I can just flip it right over and use it on a, this way I can remove the platen if I want. For a full slack belt I usually use this section right here. Again, I hope to do some more sharpening videos. I just want to show you where I'm at and what I got. A lot of my little stuff, my little knickknacks and tools, I keep in these little drawers. Of course it's a mess because I've got way too much stuff even moving out here. More stuff, little things. Sandpapers, all my sandpapers are divided up. A lot of this is from the Wicked Edge, and I've got them all separated out, 2,000, 3,000 grit, that kind of thing. More sandpapers back here. Grit chart, grit comparison chart. Up on the top, this is pretty cool. I ordered these. These end up running about 50 cents each, and when I get done sharpening a knife, I can put one of these little paper sheaths over it to protect it. Looks really professional. And that's it for the main sharpening station. I got I'm still using the same glasses with the flip up. They got these little flip ups. I got them on Amazon. Hopefully I can put some links and share information. I just want to show you what I'm using. I use wireless headphones to listen to music while I'm doing it, and I use the I'm using this now out here to keep the dust down. That was one of the problems I was having in the little shop in the back room, was an accumulation of dust, and breathing that dust in is not good for you. So I blow the shop out here. This is the other half of my shop over here. There's a workbench I built. I've gotten a drill press, bandsaw that I rebuilt and tuned it up. I've got a anvil down there that's not in working position yet. It needs restored and put on a stump. I got an electric furnace, a small drill press. The buffer, and my latest science project or experiments have been with buffing and trying to figure out the best way to remove scratches without hand sanding. And I'll go back into that. I got some other things, you know, standard shop stuff, chop saw. And I even have in the very back there, which I've never used yet, is a metal cutoff saw. This is an old machine. It was completely rusted up, but I was able to restore it and get it up to working order, and I can cut metal with this. This is my metal bandsaw. And then this is a large Delta 4x48, I want to say. And the disc, and it's a beast. It's a big monster. It's gotten a little rusty, surface rust. I'm going to have to restore that again. But so I've got the big surface sanders, metal cutting bandsaw, wood cutting bandsaw, drill presses. What I've started to do, it all began as part of when you sharpen knives, a lot of times you ended up having to replace handles and things like that. So I started getting stock material for wood handles, and over here this is some more stocks. I ended up starting to make some knives, which a lot of guys end up doing. It seems like it's really popular right now. I don't typically like to do what everyone else is doing that's quote popular, but I've had some fun. I've been making a few things. This is a forge station that I rebuilt and built the table and everything that it's on. I had to rebuild the insides and put the fire brick and all the stuff in there. And I've used it to successfully heat treat and forge one set of knives. And I'm currently working on finishing those up. Not planning to go into large production. I have a couple local places that do want me to do some knife work on a large scale, but I felt like there was too much pressure to perform, and it kind of took the fun out of it for me. Here's a couple of my first attempts, and these are just things I was practicing on. Once you start putting a couple handles and pins in, you kind of get the hang of it. So here's the one of the first ones. It's a deer antler knife. I had to modify the tang and get it so, and drill the deer horn out, of course, get it so it sits flush, and then buffed and polished the antler. And it's a medium size. It's got a good feel to it. The blade itself was pre-bought. I did that because I just wanted to practice the actual assembly and the steps, the mechanics to putting a knife together. I think this will be a gift for a cousin of mine. I've also got a logo stamp for the sheaths, and I've got the acid etching going. If it'll focus on that, probably won't. Anyways, a little mini logo there. Again, just practicing. Here's one of the first ones that I put together. This is curly koa and deer antler with some spacers. I did make this blade, and it's a tiny little guy. It's more of a letter opener than anything. But working with small stuff is actually harder than big things. Everything's got to be very precise and lined up. I think it came out okay. It's a beautiful little piece. I'm really happy. Again, working on fits and finishes and just putting things together. That was a prototype for the bigger version, which I'm currently working to finish up now. It's got a lot of fine details and stuff in it. Again, deer antler, mosaic pins, curly koa, brass spacer in the back, and it looks like some oxidization. This is why I'm working for trying to get the other ways to do it. This is a little one. It's mirror polished. This is a redwood handle and with a larger spacer. And the last one here is this fillet knife with a curly mango handle and a mosaic pin. And I'm pretty happy with how it comes out. You end up making handles and doing this to fix knives anyway, so I thought, why not make some of my own just for the heck of it. So that's where a lot of my focus has been with the new shop and the new equipment. I'm still doing a ton of sharpening. And what I'd like to do, possibly in the future, is talk about sharpening theory from the basics to advanced stuff, some of the techniques, the new techniques I have, how they work, and things like that, the equipment, and try and get back into it. It was unfortunate at the time that I started the videos that everything kind of shifted around with YouTube, and I got really busy in my personal life. So I'm still here. I'm still doing a lot of sharpening. I've got some equipment upgrades and some new stuff, and so I think I'll be getting back into it to share with you guys. Appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, you guys.